Well, the pandemic is making it harder to be a teenager these days, of course. Remote learning is keeping many isolated, and for some, their mental health is being affected. Fox 5's Sharon Crowley spoke to two teens about how they're coping these days. It's part of our new series, which is called Hidden Impact: The Mental Health Toll of COVID-19.
It was really a life-changing experience. I feel like I had a lot of adjusting to do.
Nyalis Arias is a junior at Beacon High School in Hell's Kitchen. She's been learning from home since the pandemic started, fearing in-person school would be too dangerous since she lives with her grandmother. Her choice meant adjusting to long hours of social isolation, as well as transforming her bedroom into her classroom.
So having to turn my home into like the place where I learn and attend my classes was definitely a hard transition, but I had no choice but to adjust.
Like so many teenagers, the pandemic has taken a toll on her mental health.
I definitely do think I got more anxious.
It was a little hard in the beginning because obviously being stuck at home, not being able to see my friends, and not being sure what was happening in the world really was very scary.
Daniel Shannon is a senior at Millennium High School in Manhattan, and like Nyalis, he's opted for remote learning only.
I was bored and I was lonely. You know, I had some really great friends at Millennium, and I missed them.
He took his mental health problems into his own hands, literally. He started regularly going to the park alone to practice soccer. It improved his game and his attitude.
Getting really focused in my soccer, and through that, I was able to sort of cope with being isolated and having to be alone for long periods of time.
Nyalis and Daniel are experiencing what so many teens have been enduring. A University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital national poll showing 1 in 3 teen girls and 1 in 5 teen boys said they had new or worsening anxiety since March of 2020. And the CDC reporting mental health-related hospital emergency department visits among adolescents started increasing in April of 2020 in teens 12 to 17.
For the older kids and adolescents, they're separating. So they're supposed to be out with their peers, and they're supposed to be really having their own lives. And that's so important for their development. So it is much harder for adolescents right now than for younger children.
Erica Commissar is a psychoanalyst, parent guidance expert, and the author of Being There: Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters. She says the pandemic has hit teenagers especially hard.
Teenagers who are doing the worst in this time of COVID are the ones where there were family or interpersonal stressors in the home to begin with.
She suggests parents lower expectations for teens, especially when it comes to grades.
I think we all have to reduce our expectations. The pressure that these kids are under to achieve, even during COVID, take that pressure off of them. If they don't do so well in school this year, that's okay.
And I did ask the teens if they had any tips for other teenagers who might be struggling in this pandemic. And Nyalis telling me that she tries to keep a calendar and set small goals. And in fact, setting goals seems to be working for both of them. She'll be returning to in-person learning, she hopes, for her senior year of high school. And Daniel tells me he's been accepted to college in the fall. Sharon Crowley, Fox 5 News.